Hey, home theater nerds, welcome to the Bright Side Home Theater Podcast. The home theater podcast, it's all about the experiences, the sights,
the sounds,
the scenes.
There it is.
All right. It's like he wasn't even gone.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Thank God Steve's not here to hold your feet to the fire.
I know. Oh, I wish he was. He is here. He's here in spirit, and I saw him in the chat. Please hold. Your call is important to us.
Good thing he's here to get the show started.
Yeah, that was what got us going. I was like, I had a little rant going on with John.
Yeah.
John and I, a little.
Not at me, by the way.
Not at him. Not at him. Not at him. We'd still be there if it was at him.
There'd be
like,
no show.
Show's over. And we've had those. That was before our live days. Imagine if we did that live.
Yeah, that would have been the end of things, really.
We didn't almost have one. We had the closest you could do was, and we laughed about it, was the time Steve was here and he was the way the bus bench was, he was in between us. And
Yeah. That was mild, really.
Oh, yeah.
That was
but
nothing.
To him, it was huge.
They don't know.
No, they have no idea. We've literally, like, in person, we've almost fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never come
over
to blows.
board games.
We've never come to blows, but I mean, it's when you're friends with somebody for 40 years, I mean,
yeah, longer than that if you think about it, because it was before we were 15.
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah, over 40 years.
I'm older than I thought.
Yeah. I wish I could. Wow, John, where did the time go? I know where.
I thought it was 2023 still.
Yeah. Oh God, no! I can't think of any particular fight that we had. I just know we've had them. I don't know. Did we? I remember one. It wasn't a fight. Remember when it was April vacation senior year? We went to that place. It was pouring rain. We're playing that board game. What was it? Scruples. Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite.
Yeah, and it was like every question about money. Everybody went to you.
It's because I have none. So
no, scruples or money?
Yeah, scruples.
Both.
Both, really.
Yeah. No, but it was all about money because John, when we were younger, John was always like, he was ruthless with money. Still is, to be fair. But he'd sell his mother if he made a buck. And it was like, everybody knew it. So you're playing this game and anything that had to do with money, you would just go, all right, I know how John's going to answer. And I guess that, I don't remember how the game's played. But I said, I made a joke or something and you lost it.
I don't remember.
It's like, I remember you coming over the table at me. It was pouring rain and there's a picnic table under that's strapped down, luckily. And we're under this like gazebo type thing. And there were 8 of us. And the board game moved and you and everybody was like, what
I don't know what would possibly upset me that much though, because
I don't either.
I was aware of that fact as well.
Yeah.
As everybody else. So I don't know why it would have bothered me so
I don't
much,
know. Yeah, but I can push buttons.
That I know. That I know.
Yes.
There was probably buttons pushed all day and that was just
exactly.
The icing on the cake. But anyway.
Oh yeah. I've never said I'm innocent. I've never said that. Oh boy. Most of the time when I was younger, I was getting my ass kicked. I thought I was innocent. Then I grew up and went, why didn't I just shut up?
Right.
Because Phil Rustino was my size and everybody loved him.
Right.
He shut up.
Nobody beat Phil up.
Nobody beat Phil up. Everybody loved Phil. Phil was like, hi. Everybody be like, you're a whatever name. And I go, oh, yeah, you're a. And they're like, I can't believe you called me that. And then they beat me up. I go, wait a minute, you just called me that.
Yeah.
Nope. Phil went, that's funny. I was like, damn.
I just remember walking down the hallway or one day in school and I was like, hey, why is this locker talking to me?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, God.
Why is this locker coming apart from the inside?
Hello. Oh my God. 8th grade, going home, Christmas vacation. And we just gotten our pictures, right? Our school pictures. So you had that envelope with all the pictures in it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm walking with my girlfriend down the hall to the bus, and somebody behind me knocks my books, come up and slaps it, and pictures go everywhere. And I turn around and I'm like, that's it. And I wind up and I go to punch him, and it was Bizzo.
Yeah.
And Bizzo was like my size, but he was big.
He was like as wide. He was the same length and width.
And I got one of those, like, which I have since learned don't hold back. But like, you're like, it's Bizzo. I don't want to hurt him. So my punch was like, bah.
Yeah, he should have just gone. Yeah,
I should have just leaned into it, which wouldn't have been much more. I was all of like 20 pounds soaking wet. He grabs me by the throat, shoves me in the nearest locker, and just starts punching my face. And I'm like going like this inside a locker trying to dodge it. And I'm like, meanwhile, my girlfriend's picking all of my stuff up off the floor.
Yeah, she's not trying to help.
No, they
didn't go for help or anything.
Yeah, this is like 1983. So back then, the teacher just pulls the kid off you and says, "Go to your bus."
Yeah,
and I come out bloody. My girlfriend gives me my stuff, and I'm like, "Okay, gotta go home now." So fast forward 4 years, senior year. Remember the boxer shorts we got for senior week?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said like school pride, and it was like all the seniors got these boxer shorts that said FHS on it, and they were basically men's underwear. It was white men's underwear with silk screens, the school's crap on it. And I got these things, and I was like, the whole class was going to wear them on one day of the week. So I'm like, I ain't wearing these things to school like this. Went home and sewed in a drawstring.
Right.
On the inside, like made the layer, sewed in a whole thing, put the string through, tied them on me, and I'm standing at my locker right down at the end of B Hall. And I'm standing there right next to Christian. Somebody comes up behind me, goes to pants me, goes, boom, and they won't move. He pulls again, won't move. I turn around. Who was it? Bizzo.
Right.
I look at him, and he goes, "Holy crap." I showed him the drawstring. I go, "I'm not stupid, buddy." He goes, "I like it." He walked away. I was like, I learned. I'm no idiot.
Hang on. Let me just step into this locker.
Yeah, exactly. Can I just jump in here right now? Actually, those were half lockers.
Yeah, let me just back into this locker and
no, we actually laughed. I was like, there you go. Try to pants me. No, I'm not an idiot. I know you. I know this school.
That's funny.
So, yep. Didn't get my ass kicked that day. So how was your week?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, can't complain.
You heard about mine.
I did. Yes. Yeah. The said rant.
Yes.
The aforementioned rant that we talked about.
Yes. So a little bit of the rant is about the house sale and the discussion about the theater and trying to describe it to my real estate agent. And basically what I could say here on air live for the world to hear is the version I gave to John was, it's, my theater is like got 1,000 horsepower and I'm going to leave you with 500.
Right.
It's like, that was the analogy that I could give her. And so it's like, and 500 horsepower is a lot of horsepower in a theater.
And
you'll
more
be
than
very happy with that.
Will ever need or use.
Yep. And that's that. It's funny. That's where we always talk about, it's only a 2% upgrade. And that's what I'm saying, right? Don't worry about it. You'll never know. It's only a 2% downgrade.
Right.
Like, and you won't know what the 2% is. I know what it is. It's super important to me, but you don't know what a home theater is yet. And it's not important to you, but I live right down the street and I'd be happy to educate you.
I wouldn't put that on the board at all, to be honest with you, because
it's already there.
A lot of phone calls.
Yeah, exactly. Joe texted me. I talked to him the other day, and he was saying, imagine if somebody came in and like knows exactly about home theater, knows what it's worth, and it's like, oh my God, I want all of this. I know what it's worth, and I'll give you this. I'd be like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because if they know what it's worth, then they're willing to pay for it.
Or something close.
Something close. But if they know what it is, then they know the value and they will be willing to pay for it.
But as I said to my agent, I go, I'm not stupid. I'm like, we're like 1% of 1% of the population. There aren't a lot of us out there that are going to know what they're getting. Right? It's like most people are like, why does your home theater have a kaleidoscope?
Right.
I had those when I was a kid, and it just
Yeah,
made a bunch of colors.
Yeah, look at all these
It's like,
pieces of broken glass.
I don't know what that is. It's like, yeah. And then you tell them, oh, it's this and it does this. So it's like a Blu-ray, but costs like 10,000 times more.
Right.
Yep. That's about right. You nailed it.
Can you still play those $5 discs from the Walmart?
Yeah, exactly.
It can't.
It can't.
What a
Nope.
rip.
Yeah. So yeah. So lots of fun stuff going on the home front. But how long have I been saying this, John? Light at the end of the tunnel.
How long have you been building the house?
How long have I been?
2
I
years?
remember at one point saying I'm not even in the tunnel yet.
1984.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I don't know. We're getting there though. We're getting there. You want to get to the chat? We'll do Steve's job here.
Sure.
All right. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
It'd be better if you did it, but I can do it.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
You gonna do it?
I'll do it.
All right, let's go.
All right. So let's see. Let me scroll back. So we had, I don't know if this is reset. I guess that's Steve's famous line, but
Yeah.
according to this, a TSG Spartan was first in the chat at 9:01 a.m., followed by one Steve George. We've got Stephen Att in the chat.
Long time loyal listener, that George guy.
George, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
Yeah,
We've got Rachel. Hey, Rachel. Paul.
I think faster than I am. Jordan, Rachel, Paul. I haven't gotten to Rachel.
A lot of
Paul.
chat between Paul, Jordan, and Rachel.
Yeah.
Dom is in the chat. Scruffy. Hey, Scruffy. Brightside chat. Captain AC3.
There we go.
And Old School Kung Fu Films is in the chat.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. Did you say Dom? Yeah.
I did say Dom.
Okay,
yeah.
Dom.
Bonsoir, Dom.
Oh, look at you.
Ariel is in the chat.
Nice.
And that looks like it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's see.
Hey,
I had
everyone.
Jordan and Paul talking about Captain America: Brave New World, and let's see. Did you watch the IMAX enhanced version? So,
which is what, Disney Plus?
Yeah, Disney Plus. Is that now? Everybody in the chat, does that have DTS yet? Have they added that? I haven't been paying attention.
They talked about it a while back. I don't know if it ever came to pass or not, but
yeah. Oh, Eric Ridgely, did we say that? He's in the chat.
I
just saw him. Hello, everyone. Yeah, it's. Yeah, I was wondering if anybody in the chat knows, did they add DTSX to the IMAX Enhanced on Disney Plus yet? Because that would be worth just to check it out, see how it is.
Yeah,
I can't imagine the IMAX Enhanced. The only thing right now it's adding on Disney is you get the variable aspect ratios. That's it. Steve, I go all the way back to the Lucy days.
He sure does.
Lucille Ball?
Yeah. You got some splaining to do.
Yeah. Lucy, got some.
Carl's in. Hey,
Carl just dropped in. Yeah. So if you like variable aspect ratios, that's why to watch it in IMAX Enhanced. Other than that, I don't think if you go to John Thompson's write up and stuff, I don't think it enhances. It's not a higher bit rate. It's nothing like that. It's literally the variable aspect ratio. And if it was like what Nolan's new one is going to be, which is all IMAX filmed. Did you hear about that? I forget the name of it, but his new one, it's 100% filmed in IMAX. And where did I hear it today?
Paul's saying it's in Atmos.
Okay, it's still in Atmos.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Paul says it's Atmos, which isn't bad. It's just I remember when IMAX Enhanced came out, and it was like I remember back. I mean, all of our discs, Disney discs, none of them had they were waiting on the 4Ks. And I was wondering when they announced the IMAX Enhanced, I'm like, oh, are they going to come out with all IMAX Enhanced versions where you get DTSX and you're going to get, and then it never took off. I feel like IMAX Enhanced has kind of died, no?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't specifically gone to any movie to watch it because of that on Disney Plus. You know,
Right.
I mean, if I was going to watch the movie, I would choose that version to watch, but it hasn't brought me to watch anything specifically. So I don't know. Paul saying the audio on the IMAX enhanced, is slightly higher bit rate.
Yeah, slightly higher bit rate than the 239:1 version. And he says it's audibly, he did say, and it's audibly better. So that's good. That's good. Oh, Eric. Yeah, I saw this. Eric, buddy, saying Sinners looks stunning on Kaleidoscape and has the switching aspect ratios. Absolutely amazing film quality and sound. Yeah, I saw that today. I was surprised it dropped this early. I feel like that's quick.
Well, it came to digital this week.
I still feel like that's quick for a movie that's that popular and doing that well.
I think this is the first week it dropped out of the top 5.
Oh, okay.
It did like 2 million something at the box office this week, but you know, it's I don't know, done $360+ million. So I loved it. I thought Sinners was great.
I haven't heard a bad thing about it. I plan on getting it in before next week.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. I wish I could have gotten to it today, but I've got great weather. I have zero time.
Yeah.
So I'm either working to make money or working to sell this place. So I got zero time. I've got some stuff for this week. But I barely had time to watch anything. Very little time in my theater. But what I did have, you'll see, I'm super excited about. Can't wait.
Cool.
And it's old school motivation too. Like I heard about some, we'll get to it, but I heard about something. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta watch that. You're going to like it too. I think you're going to like it too. Oh yeah. And one of yours, I really like. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. The latest one you dropped in.
Oh, okay.
Moments ago.
Yeah. Moments ago. I really just got home.
I figured.
From it.
There's the giveaway. Everybody knows.
Sorry, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to see Lilo and Stitch, man.
I was going to say, yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah.
I watched the animated version with my granddaughter yesterday. And
saw Jurassic Park in theaters again.
Yeah.
Hopefully
that threw them off, DJ.
Yeah, exactly. No, they don't know. Yeah. That's it. Insult our listeners.
Yeah. I specifically said last week I wouldn't go to the theaters to see this. So,
that's why I'm excited to see what you have to think. The other one was, you know what I noticed last week? We were talking about the house going up for sale, and I was listening back, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, wow, we got to do a better job for the audio only people. Because we're sitting there, look at that. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, look at this picture. Oh, that looks nice. People listen to the audio only are like, what the heck? Because I'm going, I don't even know what we're looking at. And I was there.
Right.
So either we have to do a better job or we're doing a great job at drawing people to the YouTube channel. Like,
you can always come back and watch the video on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's
just
there
fast forward to
forever,
it.
you know?
Yep. Forever, John.
Forever.
Yep. Exactly.
Unless, the entity gets a hold of it.
Yeah, exactly. What was the other thing I was going to say? The whatchamacallit? I forgot what. Takeover Tuesdays. People will have noticed the last 2 weeks I haven't done a Takeover Tuesday.
Yeah.
Literally haven't had time to sit down. Like I said, I barely had time to be in the theater. I apologize for that. Even last week, we were in such a crunch to get things done. I just wanted to do what like Ara does, which I think is great, is at least just put out a message, a 5-minute message. This is what's happened. I didn't even have to. It was like midnight and I was like, I forgot to do it. I'm like, I've just been under it. And I know you guys, everybody's been great. I say stuff like this and then I get messages from everybody. We understand, blah, blah, blah. And I know you do. But even new listeners, there are Takeover Tuesdays. I've had people volunteer for Takeover Tuesdays. I haven't had time to try and schedule it or sit down and actually do one. And I don't want to schedule something with somebody. And then, I've done the last few have taken me a few tries to get to it. And I feel bad for the guests because now I'm like, I can't make that one. I got to do this. So just for right now, and I've done this before and I apologize, but I mean, I look forward to them as much as you guys do. because this is my break. And, you know, like even John's, we were talking before the show and John's like, wasn't sure you were going to do the show this week. I'm like, no, I need this. I need to be able to sit down and talk. And I think even if John wasn't here, I'd still be like, all right, let's talk to the chat. I just gotta decompress.
Right.
But yeah, we will get back to it and be on schedule. I mean, this is show 474. We're 26 away from 500, which is pretty cool. That would be 12 weeks if we were doing 2 a week, roughly, you know. So,
right.
But we did. I did put out that bonus episode. So, with Meg.
with
maybe I could do
Meg.
a couple more of those. You know, I do have a conversation one of us. Maybe I'll try to do that in the meantime. You know, in my spare time.
Yeah, you know,
but
because you had you didn't have time to do a 5-minute message, so you definitely have time to put out
to edit a fresh show.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll do that. Sounds good. Let's see, 474. Boom, boom. Does that work? Oh yeah, it does. Look at that. All right. You want to open with that one?
Oh,
Let's
sure.
see.
Why not?
There it is. Look at that. All right. Let's open with that one, and we'll get to some stuff in a minute as well. All right. Here you go, John.
All right. So this would be, in case you haven't guessed, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 2. Maybe not. The Final Reckoning.
The Final Reckoning.
Yeah.
So,
So I famously said last week that I would not be going out to the theater to see this movie because I thought it was too long. But then I remember my wife was on vacation this week, and you know, we wanted to get out of the house and do something. So I said, hey, let's go see Mission Impossible. So we prepped on Sunday and watched Part 1 on Paramount Plus, which I didn't add to the show, but FYI, for those that are wondering, it was in Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision on Paramount Plus, which I think is the first thing I've ever seen in Dolby Atmos on Paramount Plus. So, so that was pretty cool. But anyways, so Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, maybe. You know, all reports were that this was going to be the last installment of Mission Impossible. But the ending just leaves that door slightly open for a Mission Impossible 9. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. It depends on how long Tom Cruise can keep doing these stunts. So the movie itself, I actually had a really good time with the movie. I thought it was super fun, very entertaining. A bit long though. Like,
oh really?
You know, and then. Well, and after watching the first part of it Sunday, which isn't really that much shorter, like it's only about 10 minutes less running time, than this one, but I felt like it moved like a lot better. I thought the pacing was better, and I thought it moved forward. I didn't feel the time as much with this one here, especially with some of these extended stunt sequences. For instance, the yellow plane where Tom Cruise is hanging on upside down felt like it went on for about 5 minutes longer than it needed to. I was like, okay, this scene is, they could have shaved some time here. There's a couple of other scenes where I just kind of feel like, you know, if you're running towards 3 hours, you could shave about 15 minutes off of this and make it a little bit easier for people, and you wouldn't have missed anything. But all that being said, like, it's super fun. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to watch it again. I never was really super bored, but again, I did kind of want, like I said, especially this scene here. It's not a giveaway because it's right here on the poster. There's a scene with a plane. And it was long. Like, I just felt like we needed to move this along.
So, John, are you saying he doesn't fall off and die?
He does not fall off and die, surprisingly.
Oh, wow. That's oh my God, that's such a spoiler.
Yeah. And you know, for those that are new to the franchise, there are other stunts.
It is weird seeing Tom Cruise on the outside of the airplane.
Yeah.
It's usually flying it, right?
Yeah. There are other stunts, and there's a lot of running that's, you know, we could have shaved
with the head seconds. Way back and the chest way out, and the feet really not moving and high stepping. It is an awkward run. It just is. You know, I'm not saying I don't know. I can't even. I was just going to say Michael Phelps, and he doesn't run; he swims. So,
True that.
so if
Usain
I run
Bolt.
looking like Michael Phelps, wow,
Yeah.
that's bad. It's like,
But again, that's minor. And, if I was sitting at home on my sofa, maybe it wouldn't have bothered me quite as much. Maybe I wouldn't have felt like it was a little long,
yeah,
But sitting in the theater for 3 hours, that's a long time. And, especially when you've tacked 30 minutes worth of pre-show stuff
yeah,
on the front of it. All that being said, very worthy sequel to the Dead Reckoning. Wraps everything up, obviously, and very entertaining. Like, it's definitely worth a watch. I'm definitely going to buy it and add it to the collection, and won't have any second thoughts about it. And then, again, I don't go to see these in the Atmos Theater or anything, but all that being said, every other disc in this franchise is almost reference worthy.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
This thing will not be anything less than that when it comes home on 4K disc. Even in the theater, it looked great. It sounded great. There's all kinds of explosions and, guns and everything you would expect from these movies. And yeah, the disc will be great. So if you get it, I know you will not get a chance to go see this in the theaters, unfortunately. But if you get a rainy day and you don't have to paint or do something at your current house, I would try to take it in, because it's worth seeing on the big screen for sure.
Yeah.
So.
It's playing on the best screen right now. It's playing at like 9:15 every night.
At night.
And if it wasn't 3 hours, I already would have taken it away. But almost like every day, I'm like up early the next morning and at it. And I'm like, but if I got a rainy day the next day, I wouldn't mind being like
sleep in a little bit.
I wouldn't even sleep in. It's just I know I don't have to go to work, and we're hitting 90s right now, and those drain you anyways.
Right.
I'm actually looking forward to just sitting down in the theater and having my cheesy popcorn and my Junior Mints, a bunch of Crunch, whatever I'm in the mood for at the time, and just being like, relaxing, and the AC, and I don't care if it's 3 hours, because maybe it's still fun, But
and I said, and it is that it's we've seen 7 of these already, so you know what you're in for when you go see this.
Yeah.
But where this was kind of the last one, there are some some characters that have different story arcs, and a couple of, at least one notable re-inclusion to the franchise from the first couple of movies that we haven't seen since, which was great to see and super fun. So there were a lot of callbacks. They even, again, without giving too many spoilers, but they even tie this whole thing, the entity thing, back to an earlier movie as well, which they didn't do in the first one. So so it's pretty cool. A lot of connected dots.
It's fun how they do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that in the MCU,
right?
And it's like, remember, it's like, which one was it? Infinity War or something like that? That made, I don't think it was Infinity War. It was, I forget which one it was, but something made the second Avengers movie, like, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, that's a much better movie now.
Well, right. And even with this, like, it was never the intent when it came around the first time in movie 2 or 3, whichever one it was, I don't even know. But the fact that they were able to kind of retcon it back to something else was pretty cool, It definitely wasn't done with forethought, but the writers of this movie, looked backwards and tried to connect some dots, which was pretty cool.
That's a fun thing to do too. You look back and go, oh, we could take this and make this part of this. And it's like, of course, at the time they weren't, I mean, this franchise.
Right. They weren't thinking 5 movies down the line.
It's almost 30 years old, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It's 90.
Is it 90
or something? Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the first one? So, because they even talked about it in this movie, because there was events that they referenced from the first movie, and they were like, that was back in 1996. So I'm sure that was
96 Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise and John Voight.
Yeah, so 30, 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
And they didn't know 30 years ago that they were going to get 8 movies out of this. So
no, not 8.
Yeah,
it's like, no, it's like, at that time, had there been anything with 8 movies?
No, because we didn't have. I think we were
Star
still
Wars
on.
has only had 3.
We were only on Friday the 13th, part 4 or 5, I think, by then.
Maybe.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if we were up to Jason in space yet.
No, wait a minute. Whoa. Bond. James Bond.
Yeah,
then. But it's different Bonds.
And Bond counts for sure. But yeah, the fact that they keep recasting, it's not the same.
Right.
Really, because I mean,
they're all one-offs.
You could say Tarzan or Batman for that matter too. Yeah. But it's not the consistency of the same cast and actor,
No, they all really are one-offs. I think Daniel Craig was the first one where each one played to the next. And then the third wrapped up his trilogy,
was like
if
trilogy.
You will.
Yeah, it was a trilogy.
Other than that, everybody was like, okay, Pierce Brosnan's doing this one. Oh, he's doing another one and then another one. It's like, but none of them had anything to do with each.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's cool.
Jordan, closest was Police Academy.
Was that 7 films? Was it though? Was it?
Might have been. I don't know.
They were good. Those were good at the beginning.
Yeah.
When it was a novelty and they got with the sound, that was always cool. But
that would be the other question: is how many franchises have we gotten to movie 8 and still found them watchable?
What was the Bill Cosby one where they started at 7? It was horrible too, remember? It was some movie, it was like such and such 7. And it was like the 7th one, and you're like, I mean, Star Wars started
Star
at
Wars
4.
episode 4, but not in the original opening crawl, it wasn't. I don't think.
Nope. It was just Star Wars.
It just was Star Wars, so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so great. Closest was Police Academy at 7 films. So funny. So, all right. That makes it makes me want to get out and see it though. Definitely.
Yeah, like I said, it's if you can take it in. I know you got a lot going on, but I would try.
That's all right. I will try if I get. I mean, this week, like I said, it's going to be really nice. So I don't know. We will see, but definitely worth taking in. All right. Before we go on to the next one, thank the patrons. Haven't had a new patron in a couple weeks. We're on a roll there, John. We were doing well. And I think it's our fault because we really haven't been talking about it. It's like we've been like at the end of the show. Thanks for patrons, blah, blah, blah. So
definitely got to bring it up.
Yep, you got to bring it up. If you ask, they will come.
If you build it, they will come.
They will come. Exactly. I'll have a bunch of people standing in my backyard wanting to play baseball, but that's not what I was asking for. But okay. But yeah, thanks to all the patrons. And it's actually, you know what? Let me pull up right now.
Jordan says you're thinking of Leonard Part 6.
All right, there you go. There you
I don't know if I've ever even heard of that movie. I don't remember that at all.
But that is what it was, though, right?
Yeah,
I think that's what I was thinking.
Must be,
of.
Yeah.
So
and Jordan, we trust if he says so.
Yeah. So. But yeah, a few weeks ago, I read off all the patrons, and thank you to everybody. But yeah, it's like I'm looking at the page right now. We have showing 1 of 50 of 68 patrons right now.
Awesome.
So thank you to everybody. But I know we have way more than 68 listeners, right?
I would think so. Yeah. If not, I don't know what we're doing here.
Exactly. No, actually. I remember Michael. I remember that was his first name, the first listener we ever heard of over on chat.
Yeah.
And we were so excited. Do you know him? I don't know him. Do you know
him? Yeah.
I don't know. He lives in Florida.
He's not my cousin, so.
Yeah, exactly. We're so excited. There's actually a listener. But yeah, thanks to all the patrons. Thanks to everybody for supporting. And if everybody listening to the sounds of our voices gave $1, John wouldn't need to get a job.
Yeah.
Literally. It's like,
we're getting to that point, folks.
We're getting there.
Not to put my hands out or anything, but
no. And I think the biggest compliment that we've gotten from quite a few of our patrons is that they're like, hey, I pay way more for stuff that I don't listen to half as much. Right. Like HBO Max, which is the new. Did you hear the new name? HBO Max, isn't that great?
I did, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's new. I never heard of it like that before. I still was calling that, and they would tell, "Oh, Max." Now
I was gonna say I never stopped calling it that.
Yeah,
but
It's kind of like when you date your checks all the way to March for the previous year. I finally get around to calling it Max, and they change it back to HBO Max.
Right.
Son of a. But yeah, so I think that's the best compliment is people like, oh, I'd be happy to give because I appreciate you guys more than I appreciate HBO Max. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. So
we don't even have the penguin. Imagine that.
No. Yeah. No, we've got us.
That's right.
And I kind of look like them. But all right. Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And everybody promoting the podcast, that's the other way to promote it because if you can't afford it, I understand it. If you can't afford to give anything, I get it. Believe me, I get it. But at the same time, you promote people promoting the podcast, whether you're talking to people and just watching people's eyes glaze over. Oh, home theater? What's that? Oh, here we go. And then but we appreciate that because any new listener could be the next millionaire that gives more than $1.
That's right.
That'd be great. So, and you never know. Walk up to millionaires, tell them about our podcast. We'd appreciate it.
Am I frozen on your screen or just on my screen?
No, you're frozen on my screen.
Oh.
It's like
a split screen. You got my head.
Yeah, you split yourself there.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but
not your pants this time. It's your screen.
No. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I was in Final Destination 7.
Yeah. I remember seeing the first Final Destination. I was working at Blendtec at the time. Speaking of franchises that are still going.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine that I was working with, we went and saw it on a rainy day in the theater, the first one ever. And I was like, I didn't even know nobody knew what it was at the time, but I remember seeing the original in the theater and it's like, I can't believe that one's still going.
Should I come out and come back in or?
No. Well, let me see. Actually, just refresh your
go. If I refresh the page, it's probably going to kick me out anyways.
No, I mean, like if you go on edit audio, no, because I guess you can go out and back in, but
I'll hit Oh,
there it
never
is.
mind.
There you're back. All
there
right,
I am.
good.
Look at that.
Because when you go out and come back in, I get 2 audio connections,
okay.
So that's a pain in the butt for me.
I thought I lost my head there for a second.
Yeah.
Glad it came back.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
All right. Next up. This was good. We didn't talk about it last week, luckily, because I hadn't watched it yet. But here we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I hadn't seen the last episode and a half.
Okay.
Of The Last of Us season 2. And in true fashion, or not true fashion, but the pattern is that like HBO Max is releasing these on Kaleidoscape, like with a few episodes left. They did it with House of the Dragon. They've done it with other things. And I'm like, so I get to finish it on the Kaleidoscape. This one came out with like, I think the last episode, but I hadn't finished episode 2 yet. Okay. So I got to do a comparison. I finished the second to last episode on Kaleidoscape. And then the last episode I watched on Kaleidoscape. I watched it on my glasses and I watched it streaming to get the, full effect, if you will. And the consensus is, as usual, I can't wait for you guys to see this on disc. It is really, really good. At first, I was like, the last episode I watched first on Kaleidoscape, and I was, sometimes you're like, your expectations are a little higher because you're like, oh, the black inky blacks and great contrast. Right. Well, the blacks weren't inky, and the contrast seemed a bit subdued. And I was like, oh no, what happened here? And then I went to the stream, and I was like, oh no, what happened there? Right. But you get so used to watching it on the stream, and it is really good on the stream, but the detail in the shadows, the detail in there is so much better. Their skin tones are better. The detail on their faces, the pores, her face, that little scar she has on her eyebrow stands out more. You're like, oh yeah, that's a piece of wax over her eyebrow, whatever. But it just looks a little bit more pronounced on the Kaleidoscape, which will be, I guess the disc isn't coming until September.
Yeah, I've seen the pre-orders up. I saw the pre-order go up yesterday or the day before, or at least the announcement of it. I don't know if the pre-orders are actually open yet, but it should be
Yeah.
September seems far away.
Doesn't it? That's what I was thinking too. I was like,
3 months. It seems like
but
a long time.
But I feel like, I guess because it typically things come out on Kaleidoscape when they drop digitally, right?
Right.
Well, this is on HBO Max to start.
It's digital, right?
So it already is digital. So we're getting it. Maybe that, and that's just how HBO Max, it's a different time frame than in theaters because this is already in your home and
Right.
HBO wants people to watch it on their channel for as long as possible. So I get that. And that's what I was, but I thought the same thing as you. I was like, September. I'm like, that's like 4 months away.
Because a lot of people, even if they waited, a lot of people will wait till it finishes and then binge it, but it doesn't take you 3 months to do that.
No,
it's only, so I don't know if anybody else was like me, but I wasn't aware that I was watching the season finale until it ended.
7.
It was 7, so I would just assume that there was one more week.
Right.
And we got to the end of it, and I was like, well, it really feels like a season finale.
Yeah.
And I looked at, I was like, oh, sure enough. That's it.
I went so when you do these on the Kaleidoscape, you go down and it's like, you can either just start the season and it'll just play each episode and they're all for you right there. And they'll just keep going to the next one, or you pull the menu sideways and you go down. And that's what I had to do. And I saw there was 7 and I was like, oh, now if it's already running like Yellowstone is, or House of the Dragon was, it'll say 7. 8 won't be there until the day after it drops on HBO Max, right? So I went right to IMDb and I was like, oh, when's 8 coming out? Yeah. And I was like, oh, there is no, this is it. Yeah. This is it. I did that before I watched it though. So I didn't know
until I got to the end of the episode and I was like, oh, okay, let me look and see. And now I need to try to avoid spoilers for a year and a half. Because I was not able to avoid this season's big spoiler at the end of last season. So I would really, having not played the games, I would really like to go into season 3 without knowing what happened to that certain character.
Yeah. It is hard to avoid spoilers on a game that was this popular and that many people played. And it's like,
it is. And to be fair, the person that spoiled it online got called out for spoiling it and made the same comment, but to which I would reply, yes, but your live action TV show is bringing in new fans to your franchise that did not play the video game.
Right.
And maybe doesn't want to know that big spoiler.
Right.
For a year and a half ahead of season 2.
True. Yeah. It doesn't, things like that don't bother me as much, but, but it is kind of a spoiler.
It's a little
to
irritating.
me, it's kind of irritating. I know to you, it's a bigger deal. I know to a lot of people, it's a bigger deal. But
still, it didn't lessen my enjoyment of the season knowing that in advance, but if I could avoid it, I would prefer to avoid it.
Yeah.
So
that's why I liked when they change it up too. When they change up the storyline, they do it based off the video game, but it's not exact. But then what happens is the diehard fans get angry.
Well, and also that was a pivotal plot point that really could not have been altered for the TV show. Like if that did not happen, I don't know that you get 2 more seasons because,
yeah, from what everybody's saying.
Or at least it wouldn't have been based. It would have been like The Handmaid's Tale, which was 1 book and got 7 seasons. You know what I mean?
The Hobbit.
Yeah.
A short story got 3 movies.
180 page book got 180 hours worth of movie.
Right.
So, but yeah, you wouldn't have been able to call it The Last of Us if you would have changed certain events from happening. So, I get it,
but as far as, like I was saying, the picture is very, very good. I wouldn't say it's reference, mainly because it's very dark. It's very dark. It's very grim. At least the last 2 episodes that I saw, it's not an HDR like Juggernaut where like Thor: Love and Thunder or Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness or whatever. It's not like crazy colors and brights and darks and all that. It's a little bit more, subdued, lots of detail. Like I said, lots of detail, and the I've been doing a lot of cleaning like around the pool and stuff and
Right.
pressure wash and everything. And there's like fungus growing on, on the north side of things. And you're like, and I'm like looking at it and I can't help but think of like the opening and all the fungus they show in the show. It's like, and now see, it's like so detailed. You see the stuff.
Right.
So gross. So yeah, the picture's very, very good. The sound, per usual, it's just dynamic. It's just so much more dynamic than what we're used to with the stream. And that's what we say every single time. It's like the bass is there. It's in the voices even.
Right.
Really nice. There's a scene, you'd know the scene I'm talking about, but a character walks down the hall at you and then walks back out later, but the thumps and like boom, boom, it's ominous coming down the hall. It's like, I want to say it was like towards the opening. It might have been at the opening of the final episode or something like that, if you remember. And it's just really nice, solid bass there. Gunfire sounds really, really good. Way more dynamic going back and forth. In the glasses, I want to say the picture was not as, it's really good. It's bright. It's good. It's like you can adjust it depending on what lighting I have. I adjust the brightness to it. There's just something to be said. Like I spent a lot more time with the glasses over the last few weeks than I did in my theater. And I was like, oh, wow, this is really good. But then you get back in the theater and go, oh, wait, this is what it's all about.
It's like if you watch Netflix for 3 weeks with nothing else, you start to think, well, man, this is awesome. Until
you throw in a disc.
You
go
back
like,
to you're like,
dynamic range.
This is awesome.
Right. So that's what, you get the bass feels, you get everything. And it's like, it's funny going to the Kaleidoscape version. It made the glasses and the stream feel closer together.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you don't get the dynamic out of the sound on the stream. Of course, it's better than headphones, right? It's better than the spatial audio that you get with your Apple. Like I use my AirPod 2s, right? So it's better that the bass is more tactile than that. But when you get to the real like a nicer version, a more dynamic version, you feel like, wow, those are kind of closer together and then it's a big jump to this audio here. Right. So it's, and I know people have done the tests. It's just to crank up your volume and you got to find out what it is, but that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to figure out, okay, how much do I do this movie? How much do I do that movie? It's just, physical media is just so much more consistent.
Oh, for sure.
So, but yeah, Last of Us season 2, really liked the ending. Love the home theater experience. It's still not as good. I wouldn't say, I think that, well, I have one coming up in a second, but House of Usher.
Oh yeah.
That I think is for a show is still Netflix. My top.
Yeah, which was on Netflix. That was really good. Yeah.
That was really good. That's the latest one. It doesn't beat C. But that's older. Right. The Jason Momoa Apple TV Plus show. That's probably one of the best all time. But lately, I'd say House of Usher is probably the best lately. Okay. So, but all right. Let's see. Let me pull this one down. What would you like next?
Either one is fine. You want to do the Netflix show? I guess, since we're talking about Netflix anyways.
All right. Which, oops.
I can't see what, I can't see what you're highlighting. So
yeah, let me pull it
looks
up
like
here.
a kind of like a guy with a
mask.
Yeah.
Yeah. 826. Let me pull it. I'll find it here. But working on the fly here. Where did it go? 816. There we go. All right. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. Bringing this up. You ready?
I am.
All right.
Okay. So this is a show on Netflix called The Eternaut. I think that's how you say that.
Yeah.
Eternaut. I don't really know, and I don't know what it means. But this is a sci-fi show that I haven't heard anybody talking about I don't even know if you guys have even heard of this show.
No, I hadn't.
So this is it's an Argentinian show.
Okay.
And it is in that their natural language. But it is based on an Argentine comic book from the 1950s of the same name called the Eternaut. So I didn't know any of that prior to going in to watch this, but this is kind of a post-apocalyptic. You know how I love these post-apocalyptic shows. It is kind of how it starts out, but then I don't think it's giving away too many spoilers because you can read it right on the screen. But it turns out it's really it's in preparation for an invasion, and really what it turns out to be is an invasion where these aliens are coming to colonize the planet, and it kicked off an event that kills tons of people to pave the way for them. This was really good. I had no idea what to expect coming into this show. Again, it's one of those shows that just showed up on my front page of Netflix. Like, it was recommended based on the content that I watch. And I was like, well, hey, let me check it out because I have nothing else to do. This was really excellent. And it's only 6 episodes, but I am happy to say it has already been renewed for season 2. So we will at least get some more of it. And I do recommend it. Again, you it's subtitled. It's you do have to watch it that way if you want to get the Atmos. If you want to watch it dubbed, you can, but you won't get Atmos. And as far as that goes, this was really excellent. Like the Dolby Atmos and the Dolby Vision, like you were just talking about House of Usher. This was really good Atmos. Like there's lots of, again, spaceships and, or not spaceships really, but once you get the reveal of the aliens, which doesn't happen right away, because these people don't know what's happened, right? Like they just know that this event has happened and they have no idea what's going on. But once you kind of get to that, there's like, they're kind of like, I don't want to spoil it too much, but they're like insect-like. So there's like chittering and scurrying all over the place once you start getting to those scenes. And the Atmos is like really excellent once you start getting to that stuff. The first couple of episodes are pretty bleak and not really a lot is happening. And there is a lot of buildup that comes in the first 2 episodes or so. And you do kind of have to stick with it because it's only 6. But I wasn't sure at first that I was going to keep going, but the mystery had me enough that I stuck with it. And it's worth it because once you start really getting into it, like I said, the sound was really excellent on this. So, again, check it out if you haven't seen it or if you hadn't heard of it. If you like good sci-fi stuff, it's pretty interesting. It's definitely worth the watch. So,
how long are the episodes?
45 minutes or so. Like it's
cool.
like a drama, 45, 50 minutes, standard runtime, I guess. But like I said, there's only 6. So and like I said, after the first couple, the first couple are slow, but then it really moves on. Like I think I watched one day, the second one another day, and then I went right through the last 4.
Oh, nice.
All in one sitting. Like once I started getting into it, I just kept going. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, it might be something I take in with the glasses.
Yeah, and it would be definitely something you could do. Again, you won't probably get all the spatial audio the same, but
it's
visually,
pretty good. The spatial audio is pretty good with it, like really good. It's the bass that's lacking.
Right.
You get some really nice, especially on Netflix stuff.
Well, and like I said, and a lot of it is the sound. It's not so much deep bass. It is just the sounds. That you'll get, and that should come through, I guess, pretty well on the AirPods. So
there is something to be said though, where being in the room and feeling like because you can feel the distance, right? Like you hear something over there. It's like it's just different. It's kind of like the same idea where they say, well, you get the same aspect ratio if you just sit closer.
Right.
So if you have a 65-inch TV and you're sitting 3 feet away from it, it feels like a giant screen. But
Right.
yeah, but you know you're 3 feet away from
Exactly.
it. It's like
Yeah.
your brain knows it's not a giant screen.
Like
It's like
when
you
I
have
was
the
a
same
kid.
field of view, but
When I was a kid and my nose was touching the screen when I watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know,
right. Yeah,
just-
exactly.
I knew I wasn't at the movie theater.
You're going to get a headache when you do that. And back then it was true because
Yeah.
of the,
You're gonna go
because
blind.
of the resolution. Now that's out the window. I don't know what parents say now.
Yeah,
Be
I
like,
don't
you're gonna see a lot of detail. Back up.
Right.
Like, sorry. It's like, I mean, I don't know.
This will be very soothing for your eyes, so
Yeah.
you better not sit so close to it.
Or the mom is yelling, get away from the TV. And the dad's like, no, that's an OLED. We're
Yeah.
good. Good. I turned the brightness down. Don't have to put on sunscreen. All right. All right. Is that all?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's
Check that out.
yeah. It was good. I really liked it.
Cool. All right. Here we go.
We're missing Steve, because I don't wax as poetic as he does about all
That's
the shows,
okay.
you
That's
know?
okay. This gives me more time to talk.
Yeah, I'd say I can't
cramp
do
in my
30 minutes
style.
on the Eternaut. So
Steve's been cramping my style.
yeah,
No, I'm just kidding. Believe me, he's not cramping nothing.
no.
I was just saying that to somebody this week. I'm like, if it wasn't for you guys, this show wouldn't be going. It's like, there's no way I could
Well, I was kind of
continue.
nervous that you wouldn't have anything to talk about this week, and I was like,
Yeah.
I only have a couple things, and I can't spend 2 hours talking about them.
Yeah. Where's my 0220. I thought I relabeled it. All right. This one here, I'm excited to talk about this one.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say about what's coming, why I watched it, but all right, let's get it going.
Yeah.
There it is.
Wow, was it 2020?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're talking about the Netflix original from 2020, The Old Guard. 2 hours, 6 minutes, 4K, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. John, when was the last time you saw this?
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2020. How big was it? Which display did you have?
I think my 77-inch TV. I don't think I had the projector at that.
Yeah.
Actually, I know I didn't have the projector yet.
No.
So yeah, it would have been on the 77-inch
Yeah.
screen.
So I had obviously no Kaleidoscape. That doesn't
Right.
matter with this. This is on Netflix only. I wish this would come to physical media.
Yeah.
And I had the 4K projector, but I didn't have the Lumagen at the time. Even if I did, I didn't have the capability of Dolby Vision.
Right.
I didn't have the Marantz that I have now. I didn't have the SVS speakers that I have now. I didn't have, most of my theater has been upgraded. Everything except for the seat cushions has
Right.
been upgraded since then. I think I even put some fresh paint on the walls since then, and it makes a difference. Trust me.
Yeah.
Still got the same popcorn between the seat cushions. But
Yeah. I haven't vacuumed, but
yeah, I haven't vacuumed. No, that keeps it real. You
Right.
want to keep it real. But yeah, I've seen this a few times because
okay.
we were doing chat at the time. I was
Right.
doing home theater. I don't think I talked about this back then. Or if I did, it was brief. But we talked about it extensively on chat because we talked about the comics as well.
Right. And it's wild that it's been 5 years because we knew almost right away that we were going to get a sequel to this movie.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure why it took so long, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I had not read the comics prior to watching this, and I
Right,
read
neither of
all
us
of
had.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I read all of them afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the comics are crazy. It's crazy good, I should say. It's like, I mean, it is riveting once you start reading. And then once you get into the second one or the rest of it, I was like, I cannot wait for the second episode. And I saw the trailer. Have you seen the trailer for the second?
I haven't.
Second,
No,
the
I
sequel.
haven't. Yeah.
So it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but they did it in the comic. And so the Old Guard is based off of these characters that can live. They're not immortal. They just don't know when they're going to die.
Right.
And they can't be killed until that one fateful time that they die. right?
Right.
So you don't know. So they've lived thousands of years, some of them, or these characters. Charlize Theron plays
The oldest, yeah.
the oldest at the time, and you still don't know. We still don't know how old she is. You do in the second one, we find out. I think by the end of
Well, I
this
think
one,
even in the comics, I don't think they knew for sure. I don't think they ever
No.
really said for sure. She
Well,
didn't even know.
there is
you know?
one part of the storyline that tells you it's thousands.
Well, yeah,
of
you know
years
it's
old.
you know it's been a long
thousands.
time. but-
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, so in the second one, what happens is like these people, they get killed for whatever, however they get killed, kind of like Wolverine, and then they just regenerate and they come back.
Right.
Well, they're in the trailer, you'll see this one character, they crack open this tomb that they were put in and dropped in the ocean.
Right.
And they crack it open, and in the trailer, she goes, I remember reading that and being like, you can't die and you're stuck at the bottom of the ocean.
That was because they allude to that in the first movie.
Yeah.
They tell that story, or part of it anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine a worse way to go?
Not die.
Or to not die, basically.
You're
Yeah,
stuck
just to kind of
forever.
be
Like
stuck,
they're not superpowers. They can't break things. They can't do anything.
Right.
They're just humans that don't die. So you're just stuck in a tomb
at the bottom of the ocean. And yeah, basically you just kind of die every couple of minutes and then wake up and come. Yeah. And you're right back to life, doing it all over again.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't imagine anything worse than that.
Oh, it's awful. So, but anyways, no, there's no spoilers there. That's just the basis of what happens. And definitely if you haven't seen The Old Guard on Netflix, take it in. It is like the home theater experience is phenomenal. Yeah. I was just like, oh, John, you got to check this out.
I need to give it another watch, especially right before July 2nd.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The Old Guard 2 is coming out in July.
Yeah.
But I saw stuff. I was like, I didn't even remember this part of the movie. I remember like the opening scene. I don't want to say it's a push play demo because it takes a little bit to get there. They open with the scene and then they go back and then they bring you to that scene. You'll know what I mean. But it takes like 12 minutes. But that scene, the gunfire in that room, everything that goes on, and then the wounds, John, when you see it on your 123-inch screen with your Dolby Vision and the bullets and the coming out, you'll be like, that wasn't there before.
Right.
I didn't see that before. I mean, it looks amazing. And the black levels in this and the details in the like, remember I said earlier about The Last of Us and how it was like a little murky?
Yeah.
Well, The Old Guard takes place in how many other places on the planet, right? They go from London, they go here, they're Afghanistan, and they're indoors, they're outdoors. The haze that you see, then they jump to an inside a cab, and the detail in the black. It looked like they were in velvet like lapels. The blacks was so rich. I was like, this is like, I'm like, I don't remember this. Yeah. I'm like, it was just so good. And it's like, and the detail in their characters, their faces when they're not wounded.
Right.
It's just so good. I was blown away at the picture and the different places that they go. And like we said, it's based on a comic. Right. And you remember in the movie, whenever they go to, like, I think it's Morocco, and they have the little like piece of paper in the corner with Morocco written on it, right? Just like in the comic, just like on the page of, like in a panel on a comic page,
right? It
would have that there, and it'd be written in, and it would be like, it's like 3D because you could see the shadow underneath the piece of little sticky note, almost like piece of paper in the corner. Then they go to London/England, it says, and that's in the top corner now, but it looks like it's stuck to the screen. The detail that was just in those little things, not the same detail I remember seeing before. It looks so good. Then the audio, it is Dolby Atmos, and it is really, really nice. It is the gunfire in that one particular scene, the fight in the plane. Spoilers, there's a fight in a plane. Stuff's moving around the room, but the bass, the thumps, the the bass from the gunfire, everything is just so well done. That's the high end. That's the loud stuff. But then there's atmospheric stuff. They're all over like I said, they're all over the planet, different places, wind blowing around. You're on a Marine base. You can hear tents going off to the side. There's one particular scene at the beginning when they're looking to go on the mission, and they're in a room, and there's something as they're talking. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll be like, oh, DJ, that's what DJ mentioned. It's on the right side of your screen. I have no idea what it is, but it's like a little, like a going off on the side there.
Right.
And I was just like, it had me going like, what is going on?
What is that?
Yeah, it was really cool. And it's like, and it's at the beginning of the movie. So maybe you never find it and I'll have to go. Maybe it's something with my theater. I don't know.
Right.
Like, I got some wires crossed.
Had some mosquitoes in my room I didn't know about.
I don't know. But there's so much like ambient sounds that keep you engaged and keep you, oh, wow, this is great. It's also a case of if you've never seen the movie, you're probably not going to pick up on some of that stuff because you're paying attention to the movie. Whereas I've seen this quite a few times, but I haven't seen it in years. And I definitely haven't, like when it first came out, I really loved it. I probably watched it 3 or 4 times that summer. And it's, since then, like I said, my theater has been upgraded, and what it pulls out, it is very, very well done. It is that good for the entire movie. Yeah. And I love the movie too. Yeah, I read some reviews on it, and they were like, you see some stuff that they're like, oh, it could have been better. Could have been this. I'm like, I think it's super entertaining.
Yeah, I did too. I was probably going to watch it again before the sequel anyways. Yeah. But now that you've said that, I'm really looking forward to seeing it again. So, because I would have waited probably till July, before the second one, but now I might watch it this week.
Yeah. July. Who did you see who else is in was it Cameron Diaz? Is that who I think is in the, let me see. I haven't
seen the trailer, so I don't know.
Do you not want me to spoil the trailer for you?
Oh no, I don't care. But I'm just saying I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know if she's. I don't know if she's in it or not.
All right, let me pull it up. I saw somebody. It's Charlize Theron. There was some other Uma Thurman. I'm sorry, Uma Thurman's in it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And I feel like by the trailer, she's somebody that's like Charlize Theron's like Andy. She's like her. I don't want to say nemesis, but maybe she's even older than her.
Oh, okay.
Just the vibe I got from the trailer. Yeah. But yeah, when that scene in the first one, when she first meets Nile, the woman that becomes one of them, right? That's where this movie goes. And when she first meets her, and what's her name? Her real name, Charlize Theron, is like Andromeda.
Andromachus or something
Andromeda.
like that.
But she says it when she first meets her, and she's like, because Nile, Nikki Lane, her name is, I think the woman that plays the part, she goes, "Who are you?" And she's like, and she yells it out, and it's a really long Andromeda. Blah, 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 and
I gotta look, right?
Yeah. But she goes, "You could call me Andy." It's like, I won't tell you what happens after that.
I gotta look.
IMDb has her as Andy.
Oh, just Andy?
Just Andy, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's not going to help me then.
Yeah, you'd have to probably go to the Wikipedia or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah, just Andy. Oh, well.
But yeah, it's really good. And it's based on a comic. The comic was fairly old too.
Yeah, it had been out for, I don't know, 10 years or so, probably before this came out. Yeah. Yeah. It was probably in 90s.
Was it?
The comic? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe early 2000s. I don't know.
Yeah.
Greg Rucka. So he's not that old.
Her name is, it's Andromache.
Andromache,
Andromache, Andromache, or whatever, of Scythia. That's what she says. Right. And she says it really fast.
Yeah, wherever Scythia is.
Yeah, of Scythia. Yeah. That she says it really fast. So, yeah, definitely check that out. The home theater experience is very, very good. I would say it's up there with for Netflix. I'd say it's up there with reference level stuff for Netflix. Yeah. Yeah, like the Extraction and Extraction 2. If you like those, this is better, I think. And I like those. Those are good movies.
Those are good. Yeah.
But this one here, home theater wise, is even better than that. It's up there. So, all right.
Cool.
What else do you have?
I've got one more.
You have one more. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, pull this down. Which one is the other one?
It should be a movie.
Movie.
Should be a disc. Yeah, it should be a disc movie screen.
Oh, let's see.
I mean, I could just say it, but then that.
I can't. It's like I'm trying to look. They all. Not that. Actually, is this one you? Like, oh yeah, this is you. Okay. We can. Present arms. Share screen. I found it.
You found it.
Yeah, there you go.
That is it.
That is it.
Yeah.
All right. I think I have to pull that down. Oh, please stand by. Oh, I'm not going to put you on the screen. There we go. All right, here we go.
All right. So this was A Star is Born. This is the 4K disc release of this film. And this is the first time I've seen this disc. I have seen the movie a couple times, but I have owned the disc for a while, but I have not ever watched the disc. I kind of got it, put it off into the closet, and promptly forgot about it. And then I heard one of the songs on one of my playlists one day last week that again I haven't heard. Like a peek behind the curtain. Like I have this one playlist on Apple that has like every song that I own in one giant playlist. So it could be months before a particular song rolls around on shuffle play. But anyway, I heard one of the songs and I was like reminded that I had
Which song was it? Was it like the big song?
You'll always remember us this way or something like that.
The
it's
duet.
like the second biggest song. Yeah.
The second biggest one. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so it reminded me that I had this disc and I hadn't watched it, and I quite like this movie, so I put it on. Don't imagine there's many people that haven't seen this movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
Really?
No. No, it's like I own it.
It was kind of all the rage
twice
when it came out, right?
Exactly.
Like it was, everybody was talking about it. Captain AC3 says, I have a soft soul. I do have a soft soul.
Yeah.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah. I think that's what I said to you at the picnic table and you wanted to kick my ass. You didn't want to admit it.
Well, because when I was 18, I didn't have a soft soul.
No,
but at 55,
exactly.
I do.
You're softer now.
Yeah. Oh, I am way softer now.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So most people have seen this film. If you don't know, this is a remake of a remake of a remake.
Yeah.
Of a film, and the story is essentially the same in every iteration. But again, I like this film a lot. Without getting into too much, everybody knows the story of this, right? Rock star finds an unknown. She becomes a rock star too. Things happen. But it's I think you like it, DJ. Like it's an excellent.
Oh, I
film.
know I would. I know. I'll tell you afterwards why I haven't seen it.
Yeah. And so the movie's the movie, right? Like I said, most people have seen it. I'm not going to go into it too much. But the disc, again, had not seen the disc, had seen it on probably Netflix or wherever it was streaming and thought, that it was pretty good. Like the quality of the stream and the audio was fairly good. But man, this disc.
Oh, I know.
This disc is something. Like it is really excellent. The live, I mean, it's not live, obviously, but like the concert footage, even though again, it's not like Live Aid or anything, but those scenes of supposed quote unquote live audiences are they're unbelievable, and they're really, really good. If you watch this movie for nothing else, again, it's a little sappy. It's a love story, right? The music.
Sappy.
I like the music personally, not every song, but a few of them, enough to add them to one of my playlists at least. And it was really like, it blew me away. Like, I wasn't prepared for how good this disc was going to be. So if you haven't, definitely check it out. So.
I own it on disc. I own it on Kaleidoscape. And Captain AC3 is like, that's
the Shallows is the big song from
song.
the movie, but that's not the one that I heard that that popped
right.
So watch it, but.
That song there is like, I'd known that song. I'd known this movie. But then going back to when Meg and Greg were on their honeymoon, they were, in a bar, and somebody playing the piano, whatever, and you could like karaoke sing along. It wasn't really karaoke. They literally did the song. And my daughter did the song with the guy playing the piano. And Greg sent us the video of it, and I was like, oh my God. It's like, I mean, she's not Lady Gaga, but but it was really good. So whenever I hear that song, I think of her. I'm like, and then, people at the grill sing it. I think of that. I'm like, oh my God, when they do karaoke up there. But I'm like, so we were talk about home theater experiences. So I was at Exponent last year, and I'm like, maybe in the next room or something, and Larry puts this on Larry from SVS puts that song on as a demo for their speakers. And I was like, get out of my way. Like, do you know? It was like the only time I ever yelled, do you know who I am? No, I'm just kidding. And I got to get to the front of the room. And I was like, I had to get to the front of the room because I didn't want anybody to see me. I'm like getting all misty eyed. I'm like, it sounded amazing. They're not the only ones that use it as a demo. To your point, it's like this movie sounds incredible.
It does. It is really amazing.
I wanted to see it. I know it's sappy, so I knew going into it, it's like, all right, I know I'm gonna love this movie, but I'm not in the mood for that kind of sappy. And then I see my daughter singing, and I'm like, now I'm definitely not in the mood for that kind of sappy.
It's not so much. I don't even know if sappy is the right word. Like, it's not so much sappy in the sense. I mean, it's a love story, obviously, but they don't go. It's not like super, sappy love story. It's It's
I know the whole story.
Yeah, it's devastating.
Yeah.
At the end is what it is. It's sad. It's more sad than sappy. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, it's not good.
Yeah.
Put it that way. It's like, they don't write off.
She carries it. I mean, she pulls it off too, because
she's great.
Like, this was her acting debut. It was his directing debut. But she pulls off the emotion at the end of that film. Like,
she's great.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's like she was awesome in Paradox. That was, I mean, she was so good in that.
Well, and again, she's since done other things, and we know she's a good actress. But like back then, nobody had any idea that she could, carry a film or do anything like that. And let's be honest, she got the movie because she could sing more than anything.
Right.
But she really pulled it off. I thought, anyways, with the acting.
Have you seen the YouTube clips when she's like doing a show and shit, and like Bradley Cooper will be there?
I've seen once or twice.
Too.
Yeah.
That's cool too. It's like it's like, because he's not. I mean, he's good, but when actors sing in movies, it's a little bit different than singers acting.
He's not bad. Like, he is a musician. Yeah. Like, he can hold his own, but he's not obviously
not her.
Yeah, he's not a Lady Gaga.
Yeah. But I mean, Barbara Streisand was the same way.
True.
She was a singer, and then she did the movie. I don't know if that was her first movie.
I don't know if it. Yeah,
she made a career, but she was a singer first, I believe.
She was a singer first. Yeah, I don't know what her first film was, but
right. But she turns out to be a great actress too. She, great. I don't know if she's Meryl Streep, but she's good actress. Right. But yeah, Lady Gaga in this was this her first?
This was her. Yes, this was her acting, her debut, and again his directing debut. And again, I thought they both did a great job. Paul's saying, I didn't know this, that the festival scene they did for real at a real festival. So definitely not a fake
That's
audience.
awesome.
I didn't know that. That makes
That's
it
awesome.
even better. That was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So.
That's cool. Like the only other thing I think of is, well, what that reminds me of is what was it, Fever Pitch?
Yeah.
And they did that. They like got them out there on the field. It was Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
And they're like, get them out there. They're like running around on the field because they were making that movie Fever Pitch, thinking the Sox were like, that was Fever Pitch is based off of a soccer team in England that always failed.
Right.
And they were making that movie. And it's like, and next thing you know, the Red Sox, they're filming it using the backdrop of Fenway, expecting them to fail.
Right.
And they go on to win the World Series. They're like, rewrites. And they're like, get them out on the field when they win and get them. So it was like, that was all real. And it was on the fly. Like,
right.
But wait, you're supposed to lose. So yeah, that was all real. That was pretty cool. So that kind of makes me want to crank this up right now, the festival scene. But yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, where had you seen it before?
I don't recall if I saw this in the theater, and I might have. I might have seen it in the theater, but I watched it 2 or 3 times on streaming, whether it was Max, like wherever it happened to be. I don't know who carried it. But I watched it a couple times while it streamed. And then I never picked up the disc because it was one of those ones that kind of never went on sale. It was always like $35. And then eventually I caught it on a sale and I bought it and just stuck it in the closet. Maybe I had seen it recent. I don't know why I didn't watch it, but I do that a lot anyways. I'll just buy discs and put them away without ever watching them.
Yeah, you buy them on like Black Friday. You'll buy like 20 discs.
I'll buy a whole stack of them, and I don't have time to watch that many.
Some of them you don't even see until the next Black Friday, so you look and not rebuy it.
Exactly. Well, because I keep a running list on Amazon of all the movies I want to buy, and then I just, whenever they have sales, I just go through my list, and anything that's on sale, I click it and I buy it. And so again, I knew it was there. Like I knew I owned it, but it's out of sight, out of mind. I would have never thought to come in and pull this movie out and watch it.
Yeah.
If I hadn't heard one of the songs and just reminded me to go pull it out.
Yeah. It's I think I might actually be in a movie because of something like that. So Paul saying they did the festival scene for real. Right. It was Jake Gyllenhaal, and he did, remember the Boston Marathon movie he did? The marathon bombing movie?
Yeah. With Wahlberg? Was it?
No, this was a different one.
That was a different one.
Yeah,
that was Patriots Day or something,
that was,
right?
Patriots Day. This one was based off of Jeff Bowman, the guy that lost both his legs in the bombing.
Yeah.
So he played Jeff Bowman. I forget the name of the movie. It was either Boston Strong or Stronger. I think it was Stronger was the name of the movie. So anyways, there was a scene because at the time after the marathon bombing, the Bees actually went to the finals that year. So there was like these people were invited to Bruins games. They were invited to Red Sox games and stuff like that. So this particular scene they wanted to put into the movie. So I was at a game. This obviously during the making of Stronger, and they ask everybody to stick around that can stick around because they're going to film these scenes, and the whole building doesn't stay. It's just me and I think it might have been my brother and brother-in-laws or something like that. And we're like, yeah, let's stick around. I have 4 of us. And what they did is they took all the existing people in the building and moved them to a section so that the backdrop looked like the place was full. Right. And it's like, now we're going to shoot over here. Okay, everybody shuffle over here.
Right.
And it's like, and they took all these shots and it was all the same shot. It was Jake Gyllenhaal coming out in a wheelchair and waving to everybody.
Right.
And we're like across the way. So I was like, from here, I was like 400 feet away. Not that far, but you know what I mean? But it was like, hey, and then you just had a cheer when they told you to cheer, and that was it.
Right.
And he came out and waved the flag. Okay, cut. All right, wheel him back in. And then we move to another section. He comes out, waves the flag, do it all over again. So, but yeah, that was the closest I come to being in the movie. Yeah.
I'd say I like to think I was in an Aerosmith music video.
Oh yeah?
because I was in the audience while they filmed it, but I was never able to spot myself.
Yeah. I honestly, I haven't seen Stronger. I haven't seen any of the Boston Marathon movies since. Stronger is supposed to be a really good one.
Patriots Day, it wasn't great. It's a Wahlberg film, so
it's a little. I saw a little bit of it.
I don't think it's very accurate, but
yeah, no, it's a. From what I saw, I just saw it like on TV, and I was like, all right, I get what they're doing here. I didn't like what at the time it came out. I didn't like it was sensationalized, and I get it. It's like when you're close to it, it's different for you, and it's not for me, it's for the world, and I get it. And it's, so I'm not saying don't make the movie, I'm just saying for me, and it's like, but now maybe Stronger I could, because it's supposed to be more, it's more about Jeff Bowman actually, so.
Right.
But, all right, let's see, we'll pull that one down, All right, you got anything else?
No, that's all I had this week.
Do not, so, let's see, what else do I have? No, I had an old one from, what was the one? See if it's still in here. I had one that I'd never mentioned. Let's see if it's, no. I even forget the name of it now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God. It's like I watched it, and that's why I hadn't brought it up. It's like I saw it, bought it, and it's, oh, you know where I could probably find it? Let me look on my Kaleidoscope. See what.
Well, I don't have a picture of it or had no intent of talking about it, but
what's that?
I can highly recommend Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV.
Oh, really?
That was great. So, John Hamm, Lydia Munn, Amanda Peet, I think is her name.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed that. So,
there's one I've watched half of. I won't even talk about that yet. It's one that I was recommended by
throw it up. I might have
Todd.
seen it.
Yeah. Oh, where the heck is it?
John, Starship Troopers thoughts. Haven't seen Starship Troopers in about 30 years.
Yeah.
But loved it.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I watched it a whole bunch of times back,
there it is.
when it first came out. I think it's super fun. I love that movie. But I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah. That was really good. I enjoyed that one. That one got like panned a lot.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was it was like a success by any means, but I don't know. I thought it was super fun.
Yeah.
I liked it.
All right, here's one that I had that is
I don't know this one. Yeah.
You don't, have you ever heard? I'd never heard of it.
No.
All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. I don't have an image for it.
Is that Affleck?
Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've never seen it. Never heard of it.
It's from 2023. Ben Affleck's. It's called Hypnotic. Okay. It is bonkers. It's only an hour and a half long. The only reason I have hesitation to talk about it is 4K SDR on Kaleidoscope.
What's it on? Oh, it's on Kaleidoscope.
On Kaleidoscope, and it's DTS Master Audio 5.1. So here, the synopsis is: to find his missing daughter, a detective works with a psychic to hunt down a mind-controlling criminal. And I can't remember where I heard about it or what it was that made me like, oh, wow, I got to check this out. But I did. I mean, I'm a fan of Ben Affleck.
I like Affleck too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured I'd check it out.
Wonder if it's streaming anywhere.
I'm
going to look while you're talking.
So it's pretty good. It's not great by any stretch. It's not like his best stuff. It's not The Town. It's, it's not Good Will Hunting.
Right.
It's kind of hokey. But by the end of it, you're going to be like, what happened? What's going on here? It's like, it's kind of fun. Leave your brain at the door for sure.
Yeah.
But I would say like the home theater experience.
It's on Peacock.
Okay. Home theater experience. I definitely, if it's on Peacock or something,
I'll just stream it. Yeah.
stream it. It's like I wouldn't run out to buy this by any stretch. The home theater experience wasn't fantastic. It wasn't anything great. The movie's nothing crazy, but it was definitely something like if you see it, it'd be something to talk about. It's kind of funny. It's not, I don't even want to compare it to another movie because it might give some stuff away, but it was interesting. And some of the acting is a little bit like not the best.
Yeah.
But I had a good time with it. But at the same time, I could see somebody coming back going, that was awful.
Right.
What are you talking about? So if you have an opportunity to see it, you got some extra time and you're like, oh, DJ mentioned this, and check it out and then tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. It's like, I have fun with it. but yeah, Hypnotic.
I'll check it out. I mean, it's got I like some of the other actors that are in it.
Yeah, it's Robert Rodriguez movie.
Yeah, Jeff Fahey.
Yep.
Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah, I wouldn't know their names, but when you see them, I'm like, I know a lot of these people.
Like
you know
Rorschach
them from other things.
Yeah, from Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll check it out.
So cool. So there we go. I finally got that one off my plate.
Cool.
Finally.
Now you can delete it.
Yeah. Oh, I had an image for it too. I took an image for it. I can't remember what happened. We just never got to it, and then I forgot about it.
Right.
Yeah, I took it, and that was months ago. Not months ago. Probably like 2 months ago, maybe. I watched that one. So, but yeah. All right. So for next week, maybe I'll get Mission Impossible in.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll start. What was that other one that you had there?
The Eternaut?
Eternaut. Yeah. Try that on
Eternaut. Yeah.
Try that on the glasses. I started another one on the glasses. Bright,
the movie?
It's called
with
Bright.
Will Smith?
Will Smith on Netflix.
I saw it back when it came out.
How long's that been out? It just popped up for me. Like
maybe like old guard time, like 2020, 2021.
Really? It's that old?
I think so.
No.
Well, let me look.
Yeah.
You talk, I'll look.
Okay. Yeah. It just like I put the glasses on the other night.
Feels like it's been a while.
I put the glasses on. It popped up for the first time. I'd never heard of it. And I was like, oh, I thought it was new.
Dude, 2017.
Dude, that's how long. I haven't been building a house that long.
I know, but 2017, this movie came out.
Wow.
I knew it had been a bit, but I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah. So I was kind of intrigued by it, but it was at the end of the day. I was tired. And I was like, oh, let me just see what I can watch on Netflix or something. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I was watching. I fell asleep.
I remember that. You know how I feel about Will Smith, but
I know
the premise was intriguing. Like I kind of wanted to see it, so I did.
Yeah.
Like it was fine.
Yeah.
It was serviceable for what it was, but
yeah,
I don't remember it being great.
It's basically remember like we used to talk about like Marvel used the mutants, right? To use the mutants to be analogous to like racism and stuff, right? And how it's like, because they're mutants, you treat them differently, and you do that.
It was the same. This was
exactly. But at least with that, it's like when we were kids and you're reading that, it's giving you a lesson on why not to be that way, right? You don't even know you're getting that lesson because you're like, I love mutants, right? So you don't even get this one's like right up in your face.
Oh yeah,
that's not a trick.
What were they, trolls or something? Were they trolls?
Orcs, I think.
Orcs. They were
orcs, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they're like, everybody hates them.
Right.
And they're like, it's just like, it's just right. I mean, it's great if you get the premise. And it's like, just because they're orcs, it doesn't mean this, I think the part that I did see, it's like Will Smith said something like his character's like kind of for them. Right. And he's like, hey, there's jerk orcs and there's great orcs, just like every kind of people out there.
Just like
It's like, you can point to anybody and go, that's a jerk. Yeah, no kidding.
I don't need the color of your skin to hate you. I can find all kinds of reasons.
That's what my dad used to say. I'm not racist. I hate everybody.
Yeah. It's like I can find a million reasons to hate somebody, and where you were born has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, this one here, and that's what I thought was funny. It's like they're not even trying to be like subtle. But yeah, but yeah, I started that, and I'll probably finish that. I was thinking of finish that one in the theater. I started it and it was pretty good on the glasses. So And it was.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was
2017.
a pretty good theater experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember a ton of it because again, I probably haven't seen it since 2017.
2017. Yeah, you watched it before we even had a podcast.
Yeah.
It was out before we had
was
a
it?
podcast.
Oh, yeah, that was out
2017. Yeah, we didn't stop podcasting for a year.
Yeah.
A year later. So
why we never talked about it.
You had nobody to talk to about it.
Exactly.
Now look, tens of people know, John.
Right. 8 years later.
8 years later. The following we have garnered.
Yes.
Oh, it's great because we got people in the chat going to bed now.
Right.
That's what we do to people, John. It's like it's noon in their time zone.
Well, let's say, to be fair, we're global, so
no, I know. Exactly. I know Steve's already gone to bed.
Yeah.
He's like, look at me going to bed early on a Tuesday. Yeah, good for you. So
Cinema Paradiso, I have never seen Captain AC.
Any relation to Billy Paradiso?
No.
It's kind of dropped me on my head in 6th grade.
That is one I have never seen.
Nope. All right. That'll do it. Look at us. We made it.
We did.
Without Steve. And it flew by.
It did. Because we started 30 minutes late, but we really only did it. We did a tight 90 minutes.
We did a tight 90 is for sure, but it's but that rant before we got on here, that flew by.
Right.
The two of us were like, all right, just one more thing. Right. It's like
I know we got to start the show, but
it's like, okay. And I got my finger on the button and everything.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching, listening, participating in the chat. We'll be back next week, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and whatever your time zone is. Steve will be back. He's back from vacation, holiday, whatever they call it over there. If he decides to come back, you know him. He could just be like, that's it. I'm done. I'm retired.
He's staying at Land's End.
Yeah. So, rant technical issues. Well, that's why, Steve... That's why we talked as much, as I was having trouble getting things going correctly over here. So we just kept talking. But then once you're fired up, it's hard to drop it once the technical issues are over. You're like, all right, I'm all set. One more thing. So technically, both are true.
Yes.
Both are true.
Technically technical.
So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate all the support, understanding, everything. We will be back next week. Until then, you know what you got to do.
Go push play.
What he said.
That's right.
Hey, Fred.
This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.